Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Boltyn Battles. This time we're playing against Dromai, and we're going first. Dromai didn't get a lot of support from Dynasty, so the matchup stays the same except for the fact that it's Spirit. So with this starting hand, I see a Take Flight, and I see my CNC, and I want to keep CNC in hand for popping the early dragons, so I just play Engulfing Light. Pretty simple. So there is a consideration going around where when you're playing Radiant, do you search for the do you search for Spirit of Arena? Because of the whole Spirit letting you play Lumina and saving you a soul every time you play Lumina. So here he Sanipies me for 5. I cannot block with CNC. I decide to block with Social because my hand is shit anyway. The best thing I can do next turn is a blue Engulfing Light charge. Might as well I save damage on this one. And if this Battlefield Blitz was a yellow, I might consider playing CNC into it. But because it wasn't, I am left with no choice. So here a Soul Shield, I get a soul, which isn't too bad. So yeah, back to the Spirit discussion. I guess how I went with it initially was telling myself that the tempo loss from beaconing a Spirit was too much. But when I play against Dromai, I realized that a lot of times they have a Sigil of Solace. Their dragons are extra HP. Boltyn doesn't really have the capacity to output that much damage before the dragons build up. So yeah, I guess it depends on the matchup. Like against Rhina, I wouldn't search for a Spirit because I don't think that searching for a Spirit instead of, let's say, a Valiant Trust for 7 or a Lumina itself for 8 would help me in the race. So here Emblemorph Cinnabar is coming in for 6. I look at my hand. I really want to get rid of this CNC. But I don't think I do, because popping it will give him an Ash. There is a consideration for Take Flight, but if I want to Take Flight, I want a Battlefield Blitz, and I don't have an extra yellow for that. So here I just save myself the damage because I know it's going to be a long game and I want to conserve life. Here his Sigil of Solaces. Like I said, Dromai is really tanky, and when you're playing Boltyn, your damage output is really limited. Having extra life with Sigils and stuff like that is going to be a tough fight for me. Yeah, I play Bolt of Courage. I will Beacon of Victory it, obviously. But now the question is, what do I beacon for? As mentioned earlier, because this is going to be a long game, I do opt to search for Spirit. Fun fact, this is the first time I actually search for Spirit in any given game. Because there's nothing here. I can do a Valiant Trust for 7, but it just doesn't seem impactful when he's at 43 life. So I just decide, hey, I'll just get a Spirit of Arena. Considering I still have 3 Luminas in my deck. Here I give it go again so I can play Spirit. And here I'm considering the fact if I should attack with Radiant first and then take out the soul for an Arena, or should I just play Arena and save the soul? I am gonna draw a card here, so we shall wait and see. So the fun thing about Arena is that it helps you combo with the V of the Vanguard. It saves you a soul when you Lumina because it gives you an action point. And you can use Lumina as a trick instead of playing it up front. So here Board of Courage is gonna draw me a card. I see it's a blue Engulfing Light, I cry. This is the worst thing you can draw. I'm gonna swing Radiant here. So there is a consideration of just playing Engulfing Light. Or just playing Spirit and arsenaling the Engulfing Light. Or I could Engulfing Light charge the Spirit. And I look at his hand, I look at how he's been playing, and I realize that hey, he hasn't been blocking. So he's disincentivized to use anything from his hand for Engulfing Light. So might as well I just use Engulfing Light to charge Spirit. Because I don't want Spirit in the arsenal, it's gonna be stuck there. Cause I see him playing auras, I need to attack dragons. I rarely have the opportunity to play Spirit from arsenal. Plus he isn't blocking, which means that and with Engulfing Light only presenting 1 damage, he is less likely to block it at all, providing me with 1 extra soul when Engulfing Light hits. Oh yeah, so I use Engulfing Light to get my Spirit out. So yeah, the Dromai matchup is very it's not easy considering the fact that I only have 6 poppers, Sea Strikes and CNCs. And with the massive power of dragons, I don't really want to I don't really have a lot of time, and I really need self-control to know which dragons to pop. Here he plays Burn Them All. I look at my hand, 2 Sea Strikes, yuck. What can I do with this hand? I can pitch a Sea Strike for a Take Flight charging Battlefield Blitz, but that leaves me with no cards in hand if I were to pop a card this turn. He plays Invoke Dromai. It means that if I were to stop this turn, both of my Sea Strikes has to go away. He plays Spears of Severity. Yes, I can pop it, but he has Phantasmal Footsteps. So I think I'm just eating this. That Dromai is very annoying because now I can't pop anything. Good thing is Dromai has only 2 attack, which means a Radiant or a Take Flight deals with it. I observe that I still have a Tuning Arc. So here he swings at me with Dromai first. I take, cause there's no reason to pop it, and I can't pop it because of Mirror Guy. But I can pop Mirror Guy, and that's what I do. It's a good thing to pop Mirror Guy because Mirror Guy requires 4 damage, and currently my hand can't deal with 4 damage. It can only deal 3. So here I'm pretty sure I use Tunic. Yeah, just to put Battlefield Blitz in my arsenal for a bigger turn. Take Flight, I will charge the Celestial Cataclysm. I know it's a popper, but when you draw 2 at once, it's not something you can control. So yeah, when you're playing against Dromai, I tend to destroy most of the dragons, except for the Ash Wings and the there's this Yundarai, I think, the green dragon that has shield counters. I really feel like I can't really destroy that because it takes 2 attack from me, and I am unable to recover from attacking it twice. So here once again he increases his life to 41. It's like we haven't even started playing. Yundarai comes in for 3, I can't really do much about that. So Yundarai is something I want to pop because it presents 3 damage every turn. But at the same time, attacking it isn't really beneficial for me because I lose so much tempo on that. So here I see a Battlefield Blitz, I am happy. I am kind of sad that I used my my Tunic, because if I didn't, I could have if I didn't use it, oh no, it wouldn't matter. Last turn I had to use it to get a Battlefield Blitz in my arsenal. But yeah, here V of the Vanguard followed by a Battlefield Blitz for 6 and then a Radiant for 3 is not too shabby. Here he blocks with his Phantasmal Footsteps, which I was surprised. I realized that, hey, if I do pump it with a Courageous Steel Hand right now, I won't have to deal with Phantasmal Footsteps this entire game. And that's what I do. So I leave Yunderai there. I don't want to waste any attacks on it. So a Battlefield Blitz coming in for 6, and then a Radiant coming in for 4. Now, there are some arguments as to whether you should combo into a Dromai, but what I've realized is I need to get them to lethal range, which is 30 life. And I can't always do that with a combo. And if I do not kill them kill them during the combo, then the swing back is very painful because they already have amassed massive amounts of dragon. And I don't really want to deal with the whole aftermath of them having dragons and us having a parallel, like having the same amount of life and me still struggling to fight back. Here I'm very happy I drew the CNC so I can pop the Yunderai, which is so freaking annoying. Alright. My next turn I have an Engulfing Light, a Bolt of Courage. I know that I'm not going to draw any cards. This is my only attack this turn. I'd rather hit and put it into the soul than draw a card. Here I'm checking. I have a Celestial Cataclysm and I have used, I think, 2 CNCs. That's my third one. So here I look at this hand, I see an Enlightened Strike, I see a Take Flight. I could pitch Bolt of Courage to Take Flight, a Valiant Trust, but that would leave me with no cards in hand, assuming I block with the CNC, which I will because this is a Yunderai I'm talking about. He comes at me with a Duneblaker Cenipai. I realize that, hey, if I pop this, it literally has no go again. But I chose to pop the what's happening? Oh, okay. I set my eyes on the Yunderai and decided I was gonna pop the Yunderai. But then I realized if I were to pop the Yunderai, my next turn wouldn't be very good because it'd be a Take Flight, Valiant Trust, Radiant, leaving me with no cards in arsenal. When instead I could just Enlighten Strike for 7. That's why I block with Bolt of Courage. Once again, conserving life and seeing where the trade-offs are. I think in this matchup, my arsenal is very important to me because that's the only way I am able to push enough damage, considering they have so many non-attack actions and stuff like that. So here I just E-Strike for 7. I have gotten pretty lucky in popping the Yunderais. The Yunderais are the worst to deal with. Always demanding 2 attacks, which I can't always provide. So that V of the Vanguard turn achieved parity for us, which is pretty nice. Here he plays Sand Cover, which I am not very... I don't really see it often in a Dromai deck. Like, people in my area, I don't think they play Sand Cover, unless against Icelander, of course. But then again, you're already so no, technically, Dromai isn't very favored into Icelander. Here he plays Duneblaker Cenipai. I can't pop it. So now my only consideration is what do I do next turn? I have a Lumina Ascension. I could Bolt of Courage, but what am I gonna give up? The Take Flight in my arsenal isn't gonna do me any favors. So what I opted to do to maximize my output was to block with Crown of Providence, to let me draw a card to charge with Bolt of Courage. So here what I want to do is Bolt of Courage charge, Courageous Steel Hand, draw a card, followed by maybe another attack, and then Lumina. Because if I look at this hand, all I can do now, next turn, is I have to play Bolt of Courage, charge a Beacon of Victory, which I don't really want to do. I can charge the Lumina as well, but I don't really want to do that either. So I just beat the bullet and threw my crown away for a better turn. So here it's Bolt of Courage charging Battlefield Blitz. And then depending on how he blocks, it's a Beacon of Victory or a Courageous Steel Hand. The thing about what do I search for with Beacon, you see? I could search for a Valiant Thrust, which would present 7 damage, using my Tunic. But I opted to search for a... Okay, let's say I Bolt of Courage, charging Battlefield Blitz, Beacon of Victory, find a Valiant Trust, use Tunic to play Valiant Trust, and then Lumina. I could keep the Courageous Steel Hand in Arsenal. So that would have been 3-7, 4 and 4 with Beacon. With the Beacon damage, 3-7, 4 and 4, that's 8, 15, 18 damage plus Beacon. But here I decided I rather present more damage now. So I Beacon and I search for a Snatch. So what Snatch does is that it allows me to have a card in Arsenal. I don't really know whether it's the right play. But I guess it is what it is. Because Snatch would represent 3 less damage from Valiant Trust, but it would let me use Courageous Steel Hand, which would make up for the 3 damage. So I don't really think there's anything wrong here. Oh, and what Snatch would also do would let me draw an extra card. Yeah, I do think this is the right play, having that extra card with Snatch. So here I'm not afraid to use my soul because I know I can play Lumina as a instant. Right, it gives me 1 extra soul. That's right. So playing that Snatch route let me draw an extra card, which would let me continue my barrage of attacks. That's a good consideration. I do need to go back and think more about it. I have been presented with this Beacon of Victory, Courageous Steel Hand option. This is the second time already, so I do think it's a good thinking process to go through. Here, Take Flight has natural go again because I already charged his turn. And then I'll Radiant. So he would think that it's the end, right? But I'm able to pay Lumina at instant speed, gain back the action point, and present the on hit. Here I decided, hey, he's not going to block at all, so I will present my Bolt of Courage, since he doesn't have any armor to block anyways. So I force him to either block or take it, go down to 1, and I draw a card. And being at 1 is the worst life point you can be with Boltyn, because you will have to perfectly block every single attack I throw at you. So I draw an E-Strike, I'm happy about it, I'll Arsenal and pass. Here I draw 2 E-Pods, which sucks a lot. Vincerica poses 9 damage because I can't block it, and blocking it would mean a lot of tempo loss. Because I can't deal with the Vincerica, right? I can't send E-Strike over there because that's not worth it at all. So here Vincerica comes in for 9, I take it, followed by Yunderai for 3. And then I see my next turn is just gonna be a take flight into Lumina. What I should have considered, and I was not punished for this, but it's a good thing to keep in mind, was to utilize my E-Strike. How? I can E-Strike, send an E-Port to the bottom to draw a card, use snaps to give me back the action point, and then continue with my Take Flight Lumina. That would have presented 5 extra damage, and that would have allowed me to close the game. Considering Lumina is 8, and Lightning Strike would be at 5 more, it would have allowed me to close the game. But because I didn't play it that way, E-Strike is stuck in my arsenal, and now I am forced. Yeah, at this point I realized, oh freak, I should have done the E-Strike first. But it's okay, I have a Lumina pumping it to 4, but he has a Quell from Silken Form. So that's something that I didn't account for as well. And now I'm in deep trouble because I know Vincerikai, I can't block it out next turn, if otherwise I am pretty much back on the back foot as well. So my Radiant here has to go to Vincerikai. Because if I attack him in his face, he blocks for 3, if that card in the hand block for 3, and then he just quells the next one with Silken Form. So yeah, that was a mistake. I wasn't punished for it, but it's a good... I shouldn't be making such mistakes because I am losing damage, and this could have cost me the game, because the game would be over now if I didn't make this mistake. So here I see my hand and I realized, okay, there's a Dust Up coming for 4. It doesn't have Go Again. Yeah, okay. So if he did, I wouldn't have been punished last turn if I attacked him in the face, because Dust Up would have pumped my Radiant to 5. But at the same time, if that was an Invoke, I would be dead. Because Invokes are non-attack actions, yeah? So it wouldn't have buffed it up. So here I decided, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistake. Let me just do it now. I set E-Strike to 5 go again. 5 draw a card, right? So that I can pop my skills, followed by a Take Flight, and then a Beacon of Victory. So yeah, with Boltyn, there's a lot of nuance on how to attack, and when you want to use the arsenal, when you want to push for damage. So here my opponent concedes, and that's the game. Yeah, so Spirit really did help a lot, and I do think from now onwards when I'm playing against Dromai, that I would try and search for the Spirit, as it helps to because the game is so long, right? The value that Spirit provides just increases drastically. But yeah, I am gonna test more with Spirit, and I hope to share more games with you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.